Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video on my channel and a brand new series. If you are new to this channel, this is basically where I talk to you guys about my passion for movies. This goes from collections, hauls, reviews and to today's video, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so like I said, this is a brand new series for my channel. So basically it's more of a updated / new series. So I used to do this thing called Megz Mini Reviews, which is where I watch films I haven't seen before and then I give you mini reviews on them. Now I put a poll out ages ago asking if you guys would prefer to have a big roundup at the end of the week or would you like to still have my Megz Mini Review series. You guys said big weekly roundup. So I thought, you know what, I've been considering doing that for a while, so why not give it a go. So please bear with as I try and work out the kinks for the first couple of episodes. But yeah, so this is my new series called Megz Moviez Weekly Roundup. So basically at the end of every week, so every Sunday this will be, I'll talk to you guys and let you know what I picked up during the week, if I did pick anything up, and then any of the films that I watched and give you sort of like my quick little thoughts on them. So yeah, that's pretty much the layout of it so far. I'll probably work on it as the series goes on. But starting with the pickups, I actually have not picked up anything this week. Most of my money has gone towards either driving lessons, because I've got my driving test next week, or it's gone to Christmas presents, because obviously it is Christmas time. So unfortunately, no pickups for me this week. But then to be honest, there's nothing that I've really wanted anyway. But so let's go on to the reviews. So I have letterboxed. So I'll put a picture here of my front page of my letterboxed account. Go and follow my letterbox, because if you'd like to see full reviews of the films I've watched this week, then they will be on there. This is such an amazing app. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I just love this app. It's such a good way to keep track of your films, good way to keep track of your reviews and sort of like create lists and just sort of like look at everything you've watched. So this is what we're going to go by. So yeah. So go and check that out. I'll put the link in the description down below for my letterboxd account. But yeah, so let's get into it. So according to this, I have watched 13 films this week. Yes, I have 13 films. So I'm just going to move to the other side so you can have pictures of the films on this side. Okay, so going by the first movie of the week, Muppets Haunted Mansion. So basically, I'm trying to watch every 2021 movie, whether I'm rewatching it, newly watching it, whatever, because I want to make sure that my top 10 best and top 10 worst and my complete ranking of all the films is accurate. So yes, so starting with Muppets Haunted Mansion, I felt this is a cute little flick. It was, say, it's only 50 minutes long. I like the Muppets. I'm not a massive fan, I'm not like a major fan, but I will watch their movies. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. It's a cute little film. So I'm going to go by the star rating that I gave it. So I gave it a 3 out of 5. Of course, after watching Muppets Haunted Mansion, I then decided to watch A Muppet's Christmas Carol. Not only because I felt like I was in a Muppet mood, or because it was a Christmas film and I always watch Christmas films during Christmas, but because I was going to be doing a comparing retellings video on A Christmas Carol and the Disney versions. So of course I had to watch this one for the video. But I absolutely love this film. This is one of my absolute favourite films to watch every Christmas. This is the film I watch on Christmas Eve as well, leading up to Christmas Day. It's always been that way. So I'll be watching this again. But no, I really enjoy this film. I love all the songs in the film. My favourite one is It Feels Like Christmas, sung by Christmas Present. Love that song, so catchy. But no, I really recommend this film to anyone that likes Christmas or Muppets, because it's such a heartwarming, lovely film. And of course I gave this one a 5 out of 5 because this is just too cute, too adorable, have to watch every year. Okay, and of course, like I said, I was doing a comparing retellings, so I also watched Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol. This is one that, I don't know, it doesn't put me in the Christmas mood. It just puts me more in of a creeped out, not very fun mood. But I still love it because Jim Carrey is my absolute favourite actor of all time. I've not watched a film yet that he's been bad in, so fingers crossed that don't ever happen. But yeah, so I watched this for my comparing retellings video, so if you haven't checked that out, go and check that out. It is really good. It's a nice new section of my original versus remake series that I'm trying to expand on. But yeah, so it's just creeped me out more than it did anything else. I like the ending because the ending felt a bit more Christmassy. But I will say the animation on this is absolutely beautiful. So if you want to watch some beautiful CGI animation, this is one I recommend. I did give it a 3 out of 5, just simple fact of, say, it's just the creepiness and I don't get the Christmas vibe from it. Okay, and then the next one is Spider-Man, the original Tobey Maguire one. I am trying to watch all the Spider-Man films before going to see Spider-Man No Way Home next Thursday. To be honest, I remember when I first watched this, I wasn't a massive fan, I'm not gonna lie. And it's been a good few years, maybe like 10 years or so since I've last watched this film, and rewatching it I found that I actually really enjoy it now. Nostalgic feels are there. I will say some of the CGI is a little bit, you know, a bit outdated, but watching it again now after so many years and appreciating it a lot more, I've certainly found a new love for it, hence why it got a 5 out of 5. Okay, and then the next one is Gremlins. I got to watch this in my local cinema the other week, or in the middle of the week, and it was so cool to see it on the big screen. Honestly, there's so many classics I cannot wait to see on the big screen if they ever do it. To which, keep an eye out for a video for that, because I've got a little video planned. But no, so I got to see this on the big screen and it's just so amazing. I got to see it before I went on my night shift at work, and yeah, it's one I didn't think I was going to be able to see, but I'm so glad I did. I always want a gizmo every time I watch this film. I want my own little gizmo. I would follow the rules down to the T because I really don't fancy gremlins running about my town. But no, this is such a classic for me. This has always been one of my favourites. So even though I think some people might classify it as a non-Christmas film, but I classify it as a Christmas film. But it's one I have to watch every Christmas, and it's one I have to try and watch throughout the year as well. But no, this is an absolute classic for me, and that's why it's got a 5 out of 5. Of course, then the following day I decided to watch Gremlins 2, The New Batch, because obviously after watching the first one, really wanted to watch the second one. And I love the second one as well. It's very rare, well, not very rare, but it's sort of like more of a, not as common for me to enjoy the second film as much as I enjoyed the first. But I absolutely love this film. And then the annoying thing is that I remember when I owned this on VHS, there's a certain scene where the Gremlins cut the movie out, make it all go funny, and then they play sort of like little clips here and there. And it was basically, you had like Bugs Bunny and all that, and it was quite a funny cutscene, and it was sort of like you can see Gremlins in different films. But then on the Blu-ray release and future releases, you could not see that scene anywhere, because they changed it to Hulk Hogan being aggressive towards the Gremlins, being like, people come to watch the Gremlins 2 The New Batch, which, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed that, but I think because I was so used to the VHS cutscene that I kind of missed that. But I found it on YouTube the other day and I watched it and I was just like, this is bringing back so many nostalgic feels. And of course Gizmo is even cuter in this film. So of course, yet again, 5 out of 5. Okay, and then the next one, of course, continuing on with the Spider-Man, I watched Spider-Man 2. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. But I enjoyed this one a little bit more than the first. I think it's because it was just a bit more action-packed. I liked Doc Ock as a villain. But no, I really enjoyed this film. I mean, watching these films again after not watching them for so many years, I found, like I said, I found a new love for the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire set. Because for me, I grew up on Tobey Maguire, but I wasn't a massive fan. Andrew Garfield I absolutely loved. I know some people don't, but I actually really enjoyed his films. But now obviously rewatching it for the new Spider-Man No Way Home, it just sort of like found a new love. But I still enjoyed this one. I think this is the only one I know for a fact that my mind hasn't changed on. because I really enjoyed Spider-Man 2 when I first watched it. And of course that one got a 5 out of 5 as well. Okay, and then I also decided to watch one that most people don't like, but I really enjoy. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, and that is Christmas with the Cranks. This is hilarious to me. I really enjoy this film. Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis, so funny, so hilarious. And there's this one scene between them two where he's like, "Where's the hickory honey ham?" And she goes, "Don't ever mention hickory honey ham again." And it's just Tim Allen's reaction just gets me every time, and all he does is just go, "Ooh." And I'm just like, I always laugh at that bit. It would have got full marks. However, I'm listening to a podcast where they were talking about the little twist in the film, and I couldn't agree with them more. I found it a bit odd that they had that twist in the film, and I didn't really get it myself. So that's why it's only got a 4.5 out of 5, because it's just that little twist that I didn't really think of in the past. But after listening to the podcast, I was just a bit like, oh, I can actually understand that now. Like, why was that a twist? Like, why would they do this? But still, I enjoyed the rest of the movie. I always have a good laugh with this film, and it's one I have to watch every Christmas. And of course, then like I said, I am trying to watch as many 2021 movies as I possibly can. So obviously, I've also watched Willy's Wonderland. Yeah, very weird film. They don't explain why Nicolas Cage doesn't speak in this film. I'm so confused. Is there like a specific reason why he don't talk? But don't get me wrong, I like the idea of, it's basically Five Nights at Freddy's. But I like the action scenes, but there was just certain things that confused me about the film. So like I said, the fact that Nick Cage doesn't speak, the fact that he takes a break when his watch beeps and they don't explain it. You know, stuff like that. And then the ending was a little bit weird as well. So for me, I would watch it again. I don't know how often I would. But I gave this a 2.5, because it wasn't that bad. I think the idea was there, the premise was good, but I think it was just executed a little bit differently to how I thought it was going to. Okay, and then I watched Gunpowder Milkshake. Now, if you have not watched this film, oh my god, I recommend you watch it. This was such an action-packed, badass women film. If you want to watch a film about women empowerment, this is one I recommend. There are some really badass women in this film, some really action-packed fight scenes, and they were each different to their own. All the actresses in this film were really good. I really enjoyed this film. I felt so impacted by it. Honestly, every little thing, I couldn't find anything to fault with this film. Honestly, I would happily watch this again and again. Karen Gillian, she's the lead actress in this film. She was so good in this film. And all the other actresses, they were so good. Honestly, this film is so badass, so action-packed. The fight scenes are well choreographed, and honestly, one I recommend you watch. And I gave it a 5 out of 5, of course. But yeah, if this ever comes out in physical media, I'm definitely getting this on 4K, because honestly, I just recommend you watch it. I'm not going to say any more, but I do recommend that you watch it. Okay, and then yesterday, so obviously this is from Wednesday, because I only started my letterbox on Wednesday. So these are all the films from Wednesday to yesterday. So the plan is the films will be going from Sunday to the Saturday for future episodes. But yesterday, me and my mum, we were like, there's nothing on the TV, what should we watch? We ended up watching 3 films on Netflix. All 2021 movies, all Christmas movies. So starting with the one that we enjoyed the most, and that is Single All the Way. This was such a cute film. I really enjoyed this film. It's some really laugh out moments, some really romantic moments, and there was a love triangle in this film that I felt was so different to how it normally is, and you kind of rooted for all 3 of the characters. But I really enjoyed this film. Even my mum said she enjoyed this film, and I gave it a 5 out of 5. I would happily watch this again. Honestly, it's just so cute, and the story was very well done. Okay, and then the next one is Love Hard. So this is the one starring Nina Dobrev. This is basically a Christmas romance about catfishing. Yeah. But it was actually a really funny film. I really enjoyed it. But what I will say about this film is it was a little bit predictable in places. But aside from that, so me and my mum laughed at it, we enjoyed it. It was quite good. But yeah. So because the fact it was a little bit predictable here and there, I gave it a 4 out of 5. And then on to the final film. This one was, yeah. Father Christmas is back. Now, obviously on Netflix they have like a little trailer when you hover over the film for a little bit. It looked like it'd be quite funny. You know, 4 sisters coming together at Christmas, always fighting, different personalities, and then the dad comes back after not seeing them for 27 years. Yeah. The actors. I like the actors in this film. I've seen them in certain films and I've really enjoyed them in those. This one, not so much. I fell asleep. That's how bored I got. I fell asleep. It just, I don't know, it had a couple of laughable moments at the beginning. It was a bit slow to start with. But once it did start picking up, I had a couple of laughs here and there, but I just nodded off. I was just like, I couldn't get into it. And it was really frustrating because some of the actors in that film, I've seen them be hilarious and so many other things. But no, so I never even got to finish this film. And you know what, I'm quite happy I didn't. I'm quite happy that I fell asleep. But yeah, so I gave this one a 1 out of 5. I definitely wouldn't recommend this film to anybody. This is one I kind of regret watching. But at the same time, you know, at least it's an extra film to add to my top 10 worst movies of 2021. Okay, so that is all the movies I've watched this week. Like I said, unfortunately no pickups, but who knows, maybe next week there might be some. Especially since I've got a £30 gift voucher for Amazon, so who knows, I might pick up some Christmas movies I don't own. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this new series. Like I said, bear with me, I am trying to work out the kinks. Fingers crossed I'll get it to where I want it to go. But yeah, so let me know if you did enjoy this video. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. If you are new to this channel and you want to check out more of my videos and you want to be notified for when I post next week's end of week roundup, then hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell in the little corner there. And also leave me a comment down below your thoughts on this new layout, new series. And also let me know what you watched this week. What did you enjoy the most? What film did you enjoy the least? Are you watching the Spider-Man films to prep for Spider-Man No Way Home? But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!